A letter for me from the President's office in which His Excellency the President was answering my letter of invitation. I had sent to him, inviting him to come to officiate this function. And this letter, he informs us that he will not be able to come personally, and that he will be delegating the Minister of ICT and National Guidance. And that is nobody else but Honorable Bish Zziwa. With this background, I think I can pick the courage to invite you to come and address this gathering. And we thank you for having accepted. I know you have traveled a long journey to reach here, and we thank you and appreciate your love for the church. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the Apostolic Nuncio of Uganda, Chairman of the Uganda Episcopal Conference, Your Graces and Lordships, my colleague, the Honorable Member of Parliament, Honorable Agnes Amede, who is here. She's part of the board, but permit me to recognize her in her own capacity as a Member of Parliament. Bishop Fanzeli, the chair of the board, and the other members of the board of our brand new television, UCTV, the Vicar Generals, Reverend Fathers, and all the clergy gathered here this evening. Permit me also to recognize Mr. Gervas, now my friend, the head of Leyte, and all of you members of Leyte, Professor Senta Mudumba, representing the corporates and the other members of the corporate world, including MTN, who are here. In the interest of time, let me say, and all of you people of God, protocols observed, ladies and gentlemen. As already introduced, my name is Hon Baryomunsi. Where I come from, our names are difficult. You might bite your tongue in the process of pronouncing my name. I come from Kabale Diocese. My Vicar General is here. And in our rules of procedure in Parliament, they say when you are going to handle a matter, especially where you make a decision, you need to declare your interest. Although we're not going to take a decision here, I need also, on the outset, much as I'm representing the President of Uganda, to declare my personal interest. That I am a Catholic and trained in the seminary. And therefore, in my personal capacity, I'm very happy to be here because I am at home. I am at home. I am a serving member of Parliament representing the people of Chinchiz East in the Kanungu district, and also the Minister responsible for information, communications technology, and national guidance. I'm therefore the Minister responsible for televisions. I am the Minister responsible for radios. I am the Minister responsible for the phone you are holding, and many other things. So I want to thank the President that he chose me to come and be here. In any case, I would still have been here in my own capacity as the Minister responsible for information and national guidance. Like chairperson of the Uganda Episcopal Council read, the president could not physically come and respond to your invitation by physical presence, but he requested me to come and stand in for him. So for the next few minutes, you'll be seeing the president speaking with you. We have been in Changwanzi. Those of us who subscribe to the NRM party with the president for the last 10 days, we had our own pilgrimage, Changwanzi, and a number of us missed church at Namugongo, but we held ecumenical prayers in the Changwanzi. But I congratulate you and welcome you back from Namugongo. The President has given me written remarks, which I will shortly read, but permit me to make a few comments as the substantive Minister for ICT and National Guidance, and also having listened to the remarks from the previous speakers, and then I will read the brief remarks prepared by the President. I also add my voice to congratulate all of you, particularly the Catholic Church, the Uganda Episcopal Conference, for this very great achievement where we are here launching the UCTV, the Uganda Catholic Church Television. Can we give a round of applause and thank ourselves, because this is a very great milestone. As you heard, the initiation was disrupted by the COVID pandemic, but here we are. Finally, we are here. When I came, I started with the bishops and religious leaders opening the studio, and I'm sure those of you who were here were following on the screen. It's a marvelous studio. For some of us, we usually go to television, almost ask for a chair for me to be interviewed, and we have a talk show from there. So I really want to thank you and congratulate you upon this great achievement of this television. Now, when this government came to power, the NRM government, and when President Yoweri Museveni came to power, we had only one television station in Uganda, in the names of UTV, Uganda Television. We also had one radio station called Radio Uganda, and a few print media outlets. But basically the media space was constricted. There was no media to speak of. The population then was about 14.5 million Ugandans. My Vicar General can tell you that for us who come from that part of the country, the southwestern part of the country, which is very hilly and mountainous, our main mode of communication was to stand on a hill and using your voice you call people on the other side of the hill. For instance, if you had a wedding or a function of any sorts, or you have lost a loved one, because you couldn't afford to bring announcements to go to Uganda here in Kampala. Even telephones, we had these landlines which were not very effective. So I remember my father would call me and say, you go and use your voice to call people on the other hill. That the other weekend we have a function, so they should tell their neighbors and neighbors. And that's how we were communicating. But today, courtesy of the decisive policy that was taken by government of liberalizing the airwaves and the media space, we boast of over 300 radio stations in Uganda. Many of them privately owned. We also boast of over 40 television stations in Uganda, many of them privately owned. We have very many print media platforms, as we all know. Because of developments in technology, we also now have the digital space. Social media has taken us by storm. And because of all these changes, the communication and media landscape has greatly expanded. You can just be seated here, you send a message to someone in America, and it answers you. Even the telecommunication has improved. I remember I told the story one time when I was in the seminary. I went to school without school fees because my parents were not ready. Sending the money to me when it was ready was a challenge. They gave it to a business person who came to cover it, then he forgot, he went back with the money. The whole time ended without me paying fees when it was there. But now, you can just sit with your phone and we withdraw money from your account and send it to another account and pay somebody in a different part of the country or even outside the country. Of technology. Things have changed and changed for the better. So because of that progressive policy of allowing Ugandans, including institutions like the church, to start a radio, to start a television, or any other media house, here we are launching our own TV, UCTV. And therefore, we are all happy and very excited that we are here launching this TV. When you look at the theme or the catchphrase for the TV, it is good news for all. This, as a question, reminds me of the words spoken by Jesus as recorded in the Bible, in the Gospel of Luke chapter 4, verses 17, 19. But to be specific, verse 18, where Jesus basically communicated his mission on earth, explaining, as recorded in the book of Isaiah, what his mission on earth was, when he said, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor." We are speaking of proclaiming good news for all. Therefore, as we start this television, as we launch this television, the Catholic Church is fulfilling the mission of Jesus as clearly stated in the Bible. And I am happy to hear that from Father Philip, from the chair of the board, and the people managing the radio, that the message, the content of the message on this television is going to be salvific, is going to be Christocentric, is going to center on changing us for the better. And as a minister responsible for national guidance, I am extremely pleased and very happy that we are launching this radio, this TV, which is going to be fundamentally different from many of the other secular TVs, whom sometimes we get challenges with regarding the content that is broadcast on these televisions. Bishop Zziwa was worried that maybe there may be challenges with the government in terms of the regulation and regarding the content. I have no doubt in my mind, because the church, particularly Catholic Church, runs various media houses like Radio Maria, like Sapienza, and we have not had any problem with the way the Catholic Church has been running its broadcasts. So similarly, I want to give you assurance that I don't expect any problem with UCTV in terms of the content, in terms of how it will be channeling the information to the population. And we are here to say we are partners, we shall work together, and where the church has had media houses, you have always met the minimum broadcasting standards, so I have no fear myself at all that there will be a problem with the way the TV will be running. Now, I said when President Yoweri Museveni came to power, our population was estimated at around 14.5 million Ugandans. The population has since increased. At the end of this year, we are going to carry out the National Housing and Population Census, which will give us a proper estimate of how many we are. But now we estimate to be around 45 million Ugandans. And because the population growth in Uganda is occasioned by high fertility, the biggest segment of our population are children and young people. So we basically have a young population with a very huge momentum. We have what we call a population momentum. That means that even if